Hi, I'm Mitch Gallagher and this is Sweetwater's iOS update. This time out, I've got an app that turns your guitar into a synthesizer and another app that will let you take control over your computer. Let's get started. Shredder is an app that does something very interesting. It takes the output from your guitar, just the regular analog output that comes out of the jack, into the app and converts it into MIDI information that can be used to drive a synthesizer. Now, it only plays one note at a time, but that doesn't mean you can't get chords. There actually is a Chord Maker function in this that lets you dial in the chord that you want to hear as you're playing. Shredder features an analog modeled synthesizer. You have control over all the parameters. You also have 3 effects boxes. There's an overdrive, there is a chorus, Leslie type effect, and then there's also a delay. We have full MIDI control over this. Now, when you're playing the guitar in, the signal is actually converted to MIDI, so you can use it to drive other apps that are inside your iOS device as well. As I mentioned earlier, there's also a Chord Maker function. When you select that, you can turn the chord on and off. You have a variety of different scales and intervals you can choose from. Then you can choose from different chord types as well. So when you play a single note, what comes out is actually a chord. Shredder can also record audio files of your playing. You can load those back into the app, or you can share them using a variety of different methods. Another nice feature in Shredder is you can hold a note and sustain it and then play over the top of it. You have control over the mix of the dry guitar signal and the synth, so you can create a blend there that you like. And basically, Shredder will accept input from any audio interface that you can plug your guitar into. In this case, I'm using iRig HD, which comes in by 30-pin connector. But again, I'm just coming out of the output of the guitar. There's no MIDI pickup being used here on my guitar. If you're looking for a way to drive synthesizer sounds from your guitar and you don't want to invest in MIDI hardware, Shredder is a great way to do it. Plug any guitar in and you can drive the synthesizer that's inside Shredder, and it's also compatible with any virtual MIDI app, so it serves as a MIDI interface for driving those sounds as well. Wouldn't it be great if you could take remote control over your computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, using your iPad? I mean, if you're in the studio, you're using a DAW, it's great to be able to have an iPad there and have control over all the functions in the DAW. We really haven't seen an app that gives you really seamless control over that, but I've got one for you to check out today called Splashtop. There are 2 components that we're dealing with here. First of all, you go to the App Store and download Splashtop and install it onto your iPad. Second of all, you go to the Splashtop website and download a small app called Splashtream and install that on your computer. When you purchase Splashtop, it's actually set up so that the 2 devices have to be in the same Wi-Fi network. So right now we're logged into Sweetwater's Wi-Fi network. If I'm at home and both of these are on my home network, they'll see each other just fine. If you need to access your computer remotely outside your network, you can do that using an in-app purchase in Splashtop. Let's take a look at how this works. We just launched Splashtop on the iPad. It will find the computer. We'll select that, and now it's connecting. Once it connects, it will adjust the resolution on the screen of the computer so we can see the entire screen on our iPad. We'll pass the hint screen here. You can see we have the exact same desktop on the iPad as we have on the computer. Now once the iPad and your computer are connected, anything you do on the iPad will be reflected over here. So we can move the cursor around, we can go up to the Apple menu, we can select recent items, I can load up a DAW. We'll select Studio One from PreSonus. Once we've got a song loaded up in the DAW, we can play that back. We can control the mixer. Anything that we can do from the screen of the computer using our keyboard or using the touchpad, we can do from the screen of the iPad. Now this makes Splashtop the ideal remote for controlling your DAW in the studio. If you're working by yourself, you're recording tracks and you're playing or singing at the same time, this is really ideal. Just set up your iPad next to you. You have total control over any computer that you're using. Now this is also a great solution on stage. If you want to have a computer on stage that you're using for soft synths, virtual instruments, you can use Splashtop up by the mic stand where you're singing or playing, have the computer off stage or behind you, and still be able to access all the functions there and control it while you're playing live. There have been a variety of these type of apps in the past, and there are things that will work from computer to computer as well, but I've never really been happy with the way that they function. I've been very happy with Splashtop. It's really doing the job for me. I've had no problems at all. It's very fast. You can see there's no lag between the controls when you move them. You have access to absolutely everything going on the computer. Very cool app. Thanks for joining me for this installment of Sweetwater's iOS Update. Be sure to tune in next time. We'll have more apps, more hardware accessories, and more tech tips on making music with your iOS devices. I'm Mitch Gallagher.
Yours.